about being limited. Even when you believe in your ability, you can work at heights, you can do some of the tasks that are deemed to be a bit more difficult for a woman. Jerry is talking about how sometimes she finds herself being limited, literally being stopped from doing the task that she believes she can do. And in overall, that tends to limit the growth of these artisans working at the sites and general limitation. And I think the challenges, she has articulated them so well. So I think there is the whole issue of being hindered on how to grow. And communication as a skill is also coming out very strongly. That Build Her as a training institution, we really emphasize on communication. And if the artisans deploy proper communication skills, the confidence, then I think they are able to rise above these challenges. So thank you so much, Jerry. On next to Angela.
Okay, jina langu ni Angela Betty Owuor. Nimesomea tiling cohort 10. Kitu mimi naweza penda kusema challenge yenye tumepata sana wa tilers ni kupata kazi. Kujiongelelea upate kazi. Na ukijiongelelea upate kazi vile tulifundishwa hapa builder utapata kazi za mikono sana sana. Kazi ya mikono tilers ni kubeba simiti chini, kubeba maji, kubeba sana sana ni simiti unatoa chini. Lakini tunajiamini kwa sababu tumefundishwa gym, tulisomea gym, tunabeba simiti tunapeleka na tunawa prove wrong. Hata kama mnajaribu kutupatia hizo, wanapata bado tunafanya. Aya, sana sana kwa tiles, tukipata kazi ya tiles, utapata fundi ya kuamini sana, ushike nini, material zake, anaona tu utaharibu. Lakini sana sana tuko na confidence, tunashika tiles na tukiweza tunamchallenge. Kama for mimi naweza kuchallenge na kwamba nipatie tu tiles ine peke yake nikuwekee uone. Na namwekea vizuri akiona anatupatia kazi zaidi na zaidi. Sasa sana sana ni confidence na nini kujiamini. Aya, kuna kitu mental health pia imetusaidia sana. Kama sisi wanawake tuko na maneno mingi sana. Umeacha watoto, umefanya nini? Lakini tunafurahia juu tulifundishwa how to be safe na kujipenda na kufanya nini. Ukienda kazi unasahau na unapata umefanya kazi vizuri sana kwa mjengo. Kwa sababu ya hiyo mental health program yenye tulifanya hapa builder. Sasa hizo tunaona sana sana imetusaidia sana.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate Angela. Angela is bringing in very interesting aspects and also very interesting skills that we train here at Build Her. She's talked about the physical fitness, thanks to our fitness coach, wherever he is. Coach Davis, let's appreciate him. Because Angela is saying that most of the times when she goes to the site, first of all, she's saying that it is actually an uphill task to just convince a contractor or a skilled worker that you can indeed take up a job. And when you go to site, they want to give you what we call kazi ya mkono, is what we locally call it, but that is general labor. So they want you to carry cement, carry sand and other building material, and it's really hard to convince this skilled worker or your contractor or your subcontractor or your supervisor that you can indeed do the work. And Angela is saying that it's a walk, in the park, because maybe when you're a woman you can't lift like 50 kg bag of cement. They do it so effortlessly. She's also brought up issues of how women go to site with a lot of baggage, maybe from home. Some of us are moms, wives, and everything else that is affecting human beings today. And she's saying that the elements for mental health coaching, which is a component in our training, it has really helped them overcome, the storm that comes with everything that weighs down your mind, especially on a day when you need to work and be productive. So thank you so much, panelists, for that first session of our discussion. It is really encouraging to hear you talk about the challenges and how you have overcome, and to see you still strong and even facing the house and, even the confidence to speak up. I mean, we really appreciate that. And in the interest of time, we would move on next to our second question of discussion. And I would want you to tell us, now that you have gone through the program, mumemaliza, mumeenda kwa site, mume experience for the long or the short time you've been in the industry, maybe what are some of the ways that you would mentor or support other women wale mtapata kwa construction or those who will join you, because from the program you're still transitioning women into sites, na pia mkienda huko nje you will still find other women who are there, maybe they are formally or informally trained, maybe they have not gone through the training like you have done. So maybe what are some of the ways you would mentor and support other women? And this question is coming on such a day when we are focusing on a gendered approach in training and also in transitioning to construction. So maybe we could start with you, Angela. Ukikutana na mwanamke pale nje ametoka kwa hii program ama hajatoka kwa hii program, utaweza kummenta namna gani ndio aweze kufit?
Okay, mimi kama Angela, kitambo nilikuwa ule mama wa mtaa. Ungenipata hapo nje ni kuongea, kupiga story, umefua, umefanya nini. So the moment nilianza builder, things changed. Kila kitu yangu ilia change. So sasa nikirudi back to society, I talk to my neighbors mostly. Nawaambia, we are not in the kitchen alone. We are not made kufua peke yake. Unaweza fanya kazi pia wewe uandike mtu wa kufua. Na wanafurahia nikiwaambia. So nawaambia uzuri wa builder, mafunzo ziko builder, everything they can get in builder, advantages of coming to builder. So far wengi wao wametaka kukuja kuapply na nafurahia sana, pia watachange maisha yao. Hiyo tu ndio kitu naweza ambia wanawake huko nje. There's life apart from cooking, kupiga duster, kufanya nini, na yote inapatikana builder.
Thank you so much, Angela, for that. Let's appreciate. She's saying the fact that her eyes are open is the same skill she would transfer to the other women to tell them, hey, there's an opportunity for you. Please come on board. We have more and better opportunities than our spaces in the house. Thank you so much. Jerry, to you.
Okay, for me, chenye naweza sema, chenye naweza advise the other artisans wenye napatana pale kwa site ni how to be confident. Because ukiwa confident, you can face everything. And another thing naweza advise ni about communication. Because ukijua kuji-express, you can express to an extent yenye pia wewe uwezi elewa venye umeji-express. Because rights zako hakuna mtu anaweza vuka rights zako ukijua how to communicate. And another thing ni kuwasaidia kujua how to upskill their skills. Mtu akikuja hapa training, akitoka pale nje asiende kulalisha hizo skills. How venye anaweza kutafuta kazi, venye anaweza pia improve hizo skills, na pia ajue despite kufanya venye anaweza fanya, kama kuna chances zingine anaweza fanya kutokana na zile skills alitoka nazo hapa.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for that. Jerry will challenge those who have a skill to continue looking for work, and she will also encourage them to be active in their communication, and that way it will help them pursue through the market. Thank you so much. On to you, Carol.
Okay, for me, kitu moja nimenotice huko nje, wanawake wengi bado hawaamini ati wanawezana na hii kazi yetu ya mjengo. You know? So for me, I think right now what I've been even talking to people, hata wenye wanatupikianga huko kazi kwetu, we have 2 chefs, 2 cooks. Nimeongea na wao even before, juu hawapendi hiyo kazi ya jikoni kusema ukweli. Juu kwanza walipwi vizuri, lakini nikawaambia kuna opportunities. Kuna wale kama vile nilienda, nikapata hiyo opportunity, nikasoma carpentry engineering, because it's something I love doing. So nikawapatia hiyo details za vita, and sijui kama watakuja, but I hope they come to explore. Also kwa kusaidia wanawake tena wako nje huku, kwanza inanifanya na kazi za mikono, saa kama wao wanapatiwa kazi za kubeba maji, yaani hizi kazi tu za mkono. Pia wamama nikipatana nao kwa site zetu, na wataniuliza maswali wenyewe, because I'm the only lady there mwenye nifundi. Wataniuliza hizo maswali zote, nimesomea wapi, nini, na nawaambia kuna so many institutions here, mali mnaweza pata opportunities, mkuje msome, hata nyewe wenyewe the skills. So setting up our businesses kwa entrepreneurs is way much easier than zile vitu zingine tulikuwa tumesomea. So kuna opportunity ya growth for wenye wako willing kuingia kwa construction sector. So it's now encouraging ladies and even young girls wenye wako shule hata wenye wako form 4. Kuna message lazima mtu akimaliza ile asome kitu inapenda. Go and study, go and do something that you love doing, hata kama ni construction. Alafu use that to build your life.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate Caro for pledging to be a good ambassador in construction and also in skills gaining. And as we approach to the end, where we have Hannah Njoki, Hannah, as you tell us how you would mentor and support other women in construction from the training or in the construction industry, I would also wish you to just briefly talk to us about your experience, particularly any challenge that you have encountered as a leader of a team, because in our books, you have been a team leader in worker teams. So I would wish you to just highlight something about working in teams, and then we should be able to conclude this discussion. So let's give Hannah a good round of applause. Let's appreciate Hannah. Hannah is saying, or she has just mentioned, that she's priding herself to the fact that she trained a laborer from site, and currently she's saying that the woman whom she trained in her capacity at the site, she can comfortably do what we can call surface preparation properly. And she's also talking about her dream of, running a company that will be working entirely with Build Her artisans or fellow Build Her women. And as I had said, that Hannah has been one of the artisans who've been really mobilizing her fellow artisans to work together with. She already has a team that she works with, and that is something that is really inspiring and encouraging. And at this juncture, I wish to bring to an end this discussion. Due to the interest of time, we would have explored one more question, but due to the interest of time, I have been your host. My name is Anne Nyokabi, the training officer, painting and decorating here at Build Her. Also, or the coordinating officer for artisan support and for artisan support. So for artisan support, that means when our women transition from the program and sometimes somebody need to get back maybe to the training to clarify something, maybe they need assistance that can only come directly from the trainers. As much as we have a department that entirely handles the artisans who have transitioned from the training, I'm the officer in charge, so I would handle them and eventually transfer them to the larger department. So thank you so much. Thank you a lot for paying your attention to us. It was really good conversing with you, our artisans. We are really happy for you. We are really happy for everybody who has stand up to grace this occasion together with us. And with that, I want to enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you so much. Appreciate me.
Thank you so much. Let's continue appreciating them until they sit down. Let's not be tired. Thank you so much. Are you having fun? Are you having fun? Yes. All right. I want to know if you've been following. So, I have a question for each and every one of us. Niko na swali. Because we are talking about women in construction sector, right? Am I right? Yes, and since just before that, I want to ask a question. What nails do carpenters or do fundis hate hammering? What nails do fundis or artisans hate hitting them or hammering them? Anyone? What nails? What nails do fundis or artisan fear or hate hammering them? I'll not translate it into Swahili because if I translate it, yes, give mic to Peter. Yes, or not Peter. Peter is a staff. Give it to an artisan. What nails?
Fingernails.
Woo, let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her. It's fingernails, right? Yes, it is fingernails. Those are the only nails that artisans or fundis fear most to hammer them. All right, let me see if you'll get this one. Are you ready for the other one? Are you ready? All right. What does a house wear? What does a house wear? Or where, depending on where you come from. What does a house wear? We are all from construction. What does a house wear? And in case you don't know, you better clap for her. All right?
I'm just trying.
Yes?
A hat.
Pardon?
Hat.
Hat. Okay, let's appreciate her. She has tried. In my class, all answers are correct, not unless you are asked something that you don't know. Thank you. What does a house wear?
So if I may try.
Yes, please.
So a house wears so many things like painting, tiling, and joining.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate her. That is a real fundi. What does a house wear? Then I know there are people who like cheating. Please don't cheat. You can cheat in relationship, but for this one, please be honest, okay? All right, thank you. What does a house wear? Yes, Fuzia.
Houseware.
Houseware. Let's appreciate her. She has tried. What does a house wear? Yes, please, Klaus.
Coats. Paint coats.
Paint?
Coats.
Let's appreciate Klaus. He has tried. Hey. Yes, please, Daniel.
I'm only trying. Hardware.
He's saying hardware. Let's appreciate him. What does a house wear? Yes?
A house wears a warehouse.
A house wear a warehouse. Let's appreciate her. Can I give you a hint? Or before we do? Okay. Remember, today we are talking about gendered approach. I want you to think in the lenses of gender approach. So what does a house wear? Yes, please.
I'm trying.
Sure.
A roof.
Huh?
A roof.
Thank you. Let's appreciate her. I want you to think, I want us to think gendered. What does a house wear?
We're all trying.
You can try. Okay, let's hear that before I give you a hint.
Either a metallic or a roofing wig, and concrete or an iron skirt.
Let's appreciate. That is a fundi talking. Let's appreciate her. Thank you so much. We've won so many things today, and you look so lovely from where I'm standing, right? And today we are talking about gendered approach. What does a house wear?
So I'm also trying.
Yes.
I think a house where fundis.
Fundis. All right. Yes, Davies, you can shout. Unisex. Let's appreciate him because we don't know what he's thinking about. Let's appreciate him. Thank you so much. For the interest of time, yes?
I'm trying. A house where is maybe a lady or a woman. A lady or a woman.
I don't know what that is, but I have understood. Let's appreciate her. All right, for the interest of time, yes, Jael?
A house wears a dress.
Woo, let's appreciate her. That is the correct answer. A house wears a dress. Okay? For me to find you, I'll ask for your address. So, today we are speaking in the perspective of a gendered approach. Please, appreciate me. Please. It's address. I wanted you to connect. Today we're talking about gender approach. And we're talking about how we will make women feel safe in construction sector. Are you together? For me to find you, I'll ask you, where is your address? And you will tell me your address based on where your house is. That means the clothes that your house wears, it's called address. Because our houses are gendered. Clap for me again. Should I continue? Yes, I'll preach later. For the interest of time, I'll ask our partners, because we've had a session, we've gone round. You just go to the present, click present, yes. All right. Yes. So for the, now you go to menti.com, sorry, Menti, go to www.menti for our partners. You can use your phones, go to Menti. Then in 2 words, just share your experience, only with 2 words. In 2 words, what was your experience you going round? As I look forward to invite my colleague also to take us to the next section. Okay, we're waiting for the response. Then once you go to menti.com, there's a code on top there. It will ask, just type Menti, then it will ask for a code. The code is 54 79 17 39. We are waiting to see your feedback and your responses on the screen. They will pop up. Has it asked for the code? Yes. All right, it's opening. It's only the partners that went round for the workshop tours. Only the partners. That is quite interesting. So we can see embracing, inspiring. We are really so excited. Even the negative one. For us, builder, we accept everything apart from nothing, okay? I don't know if I make sense. Okay, transparent. Thank you so much. Empowering. I'm waiting for about 5 more responses. Let them come in. Okay, I'm seeing awesome. That's quite interesting. That's awesome. Someone else? Just do 2 responses. Would wish to hear. 2 responses. Secure. Wow, that's quite interesting. All right, secure. We really, really appreciate that. Excellent work. Wow. Thank you. Then we have precision. Awesome. Embracing. All right. Structured. Wow, that's quite interesting. Good to know that. 2 words. I'm seeing a thumbs up. That's fine. Thank you so much for that. 2 thumbs up. Okay. Is there any partner that you are struggling to fill? In case you can just raise your hand, you will be assisted. Awesome. Now, comprehensiveness of the workshop tour. This is quite interesting. Then we have focus. That's quite, wow, they safe. Encouraging. Awesome. Structured, safe, so good, excellent, precision. Awesome. Professionalism. So for professionalism, we don't know if the tour guides were so professional or even the spaces were very professional. We thank you, but we can connect in the spirit. Encouraging, very energetic, transparent, safe, structured. This is quite interesting. 2 more. 2 more. I know the artisans, you are itched. You want for the tour? All right. Awesome. Structured, encouraging, energetic, precision, focus. Okay. What are those now? Okay. Encouraging. All right. This is how. Awesome. 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 Thank you so much. Inspirational. Professionalism. Oh, there's demand-driven. Thank you so much. It's quite good for us to hear your feedback that the tour, what you saw, it was quite demand-driven. And lastly, all right. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate our partners. Then for the partners, don't move from the survey. Let's appreciate them, team. Let's appreciate them. Thank you so much. So my tech team, we can go to the next question. Then at this time, I'll be inviting Esther and Awira to be on standby once we get this response, because this will be the build-up to our next session of dissemination of the best practices that we've learned as Builder on gendered approach, how we can improve our learning institutions. So thank you so much. So for the partners, you can continue, just go to the next question. Then we will get your feedback. What gendered approach to construction training delivery did you pick from workshop tour? Yes. Anything that you observed, anything that really liked, stirred your heart, boggled your mind, and you're like, way. We are waiting for the response. This is part of the transparency. We don't want to doctor the data. You'll be seeing your responses as we continue. All right. I see. That must be comprehensive. People are really typing, okay? Waiting for the responses. Let's see who is the first one. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Responses are coming in. I wouldn't wish to read through them because that will invite our team to will build up on that. So far we have 2 responses. Okay. All right. From the workshop tour, what gendered approach to construction training delivery did you pick from the workshop tour? This is quite interesting. Okay. Okay. For the meantime, as we wait for about 3 more feedback, for the artisans, I would wish to ask you something. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? For artisans, in the spirit of construction sector, tell your neighbor construction. Tell your neighbor construction. What animal can jump higher than a house? What animal can jump higher than a house? What animal can jump higher than a house? Yes, what animal can jump higher than a house? What animal can jump higher than a house? Once you know the answer, just raise your hand. We'll be more than willing to give you an opportunity to.
All right.
I'm trying. Sungura.
Sungura. Rabbit. Mahea. Yeah. Okay. What? We have a hair.
All right, she has tried. Let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her. Her hair. Wow, you are very innovative and creative. We really appreciate. Someone else? A house can't jump. Wow, you are very innovative. Let's appreciate her. Did you know that? All right, thank you so much. What animal can jump higher than a house? We are still waiting for one more response, then we continue.
Okay, any animal can jump, but a house cannot jump.
All right, let's appreciate her. That is the answer. All animals can jump higher than the house because the house can't jump. Let's appreciate her. Thank you so much. In the spirit of construction, whether it is tiled, whether it is painted, whether it is roofed, whether it's grass thatched, whichever the house it is, okay? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to invite Esther and Kawira to take us now to the next section. And I'll request them, they will go through this because this is a build-up of what we are going to disseminate today about our gendered approach as builder on how we develop our programs. So, tafadhali, naomba, let's do this, all of us. If you see your neighbor doing like this, ask him or her, did you take a shower in the morning? Let's all do this. In the spirit of peer pressure, please bow to it, okay? Thank you. Let's appreciate Esther. Thank you so much, Esther. Karibu.
Thank you, Biwot. Let's appreciate Biwot. Thanks, Biwot, for that entertaining and informative session. My name is Esther. I head the Women Empowerment and Agency Department at Builder. So the department mainly works with Builder women to build their confidence. I know you've heard about them talking about confidence. When I go to site, I'm able to do this and that. So that is our main job. It's people, the women, and their families. And also, we work closely with partners. So that's our main job as the department. So as I wait for my colleague, Kawera, I want us, this is so interesting. Whatever, ile kitu imeandikwa hapa, it's so interesting because it's what you've seen out. Si ni kweli? So the first one, because we are talking about a gendered approach to construction delivery, and we believe, sisi wengine hapa, tunafanya kazi katika TVETs. One way or another, we work in the TVET institutions or support the TVET institutions or have been working in the construction sector. So the first one, gendered sanitation, was great to see. That was so interesting because we've heard, even from the panelists, some of them talked about the sanitation. Sanitation is very important, especially in the construction sector, now that the women are already venturing. Probably before, it was not an issue. But for Builder, this is a big thing. Inside Builder and outside Builder. And then the second one was the training space is built to accommodate a human being and not just an artisan. It's inclusive and transparent and overall holistic. Ebu tupigieni hao wawili makofi. that is very great. If you realize that, I believe when you went to the classrooms, you saw the way the classrooms are spaced, because there is a reason why we spaced the classrooms. The classrooms initially, before COVID, we used to have 60 trainees in a class. But after COVID, we found out, because of the rules and also because we wanted to address the gender approach, we trimmed down the number from 60 to 30. So that gives room for the ladies. If they are given any technical work, drawings, they have room to do that. So, and it's important to know, as much as there are women we are training, hawa ni wanawake tunafunza, ni kweli. Si ni kweli? Lakini ndani ni wanadamu. They have feelings. They are mothers. We have here mothers. Our trainees, actually, their age range is from 18 to 60. Funny enough, we had a 60-old trainee, and she was very good at Tyler. Probably next time she will be here. I don't know if she's around. Okay, next time I think she's working today. So the other comment is holistic, responding to women's needs as human beings, just like the other one. Let's appreciate that person. That is very good. In any training, it's important to realize they are our trainees, but they are also our partners. Without them, we won't change this sector. So we need our women as human beings and as our partners to be a voice out there in the sector, to raise issues that all encompass construction issues. So I'll ask Kawira to continue the other one. Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
First is we will contribute to the training, and it is specifically related to work readiness and what we call job management. So job management is pretty much project management, but we try to teach it in a way that it's simpler project management for fundis, a very practical approach, and that is actually meant to complement the technical training here, so that when our artisans step onto site, they squarely step onto site understanding, with the enhancement of the technical training and job management, how to be able to plan for a job, even the most simplest project they're given on site, how to plan for that work, how to actually understand the logical process of fulfilling that job. So initiating it, planning. Constituted a team and they're leading a team. So the other thing as arts and development we do, just to be brief, is once we finish contribute to the training here, we also try to expose the trainees while they're here within the 4 months to the real world environment through internships. So for us, internships is a prerequisite. It is mandatory for the trainees to go through that, so that as we train them within the 4 months to understand the realities of what to expect on site and the strategies to be able to overcome the challenges they face outside there, that But starting from the internships within the 4 months, we start experiencing that and start applying those strategies to navigate the sector. But we encourage the power of their networks, the collective as they are, over 500 women, to support each other and have different approaches for that, to enable them to meet each other to work, to find work, and we walk the journey with them, to be able to understand what are they going through, how do we support them, where can we support them by them coming back and even upskilling, but importantly, how do they continue to upskill on site and succeed. So in a nutshell, that's what artisan development does. Now, with regard to the guidelines, I'll get into that. Sorry, Esther was sorting out this microphone. But I think what I'll say in general from the feedback that's coming, and thank you for the feedback you've shared, and from your tour, in terms of the guidelines we have in this booklet, what we are talking about is what are the lessons that we have gained through our experience. How have we made not just the training spaces, but what other gendered approaches have we employed to be able to create the kind of environment that, thank you for your feedback, because to create the kind of environment that we are seeing coming out from your feedback. For us being able to put women at the core, to think about gendered approaches in developing this program, be it approaches within the 4 months training or approaches beyond the 4 months training. It's so that we are able to create what you have seen on this screen, your own feedback, and we are pleased to see that you're actually getting that sense. Safety, security, understanding the concerns of women in a training space, and also being able to mirror what we train them to look out for when they go to sites. Sites being an unstructured environment or a highly informal environment. Washrooms, separate washrooms for men and women. So we have separate washrooms here. Esther has already spoken about the other facilities, be it the lactation rooms that you've seen, or even thinking about what else are we able to provide them with support here to prepare them for the world outside, such as the spaces for mental health coaching and physical fitness training and yoga training, which not only support them here, but mirror that safety and security and safeguarding that we try to offer to them, to our artisans sitting here, when they step out into the construction sector. So in a nutshell, for us as Builder, what we have in this packaged in these guidelines are just our lessons in terms of what our experiences have taught us, what approaches we've employed to try and create that safe environment, that secure environment, that empowering environment to inspire our trainees who become artisans, so that from here, whatever approaches they've employed here and they've learned to appreciate working with here, being able to mirror them outside. So the training spaces coming together as collectives so that they start that process of mentorship internally and extending that outside beyond the 4 months, as well as other sections here that we have in the booklet. So over to you, Esther. As we continue the session, we'll just walk you through the guidelines. In the interest of time, we'll try to be swift and brief as we walk through the sections, but we welcome you to park your questions, and in case you have questions then, or a feedback session, we can have that as we go along or at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Kawera. So each one of you has the guidelines. So the guidelines have been divided into 4. So in 4 portions. So the first one, as Kawera has said, we are going to walk briefly through the guidelines, and later on we can have feedback. And what I want to point out is these are guidelines that we've been using at Builder. And the guidelines, it's a learning that has been continuous. So before even the inception of the training program, there was a learning that was there. During the implementation process, we've been continuing to learn. Some new things have been coming up, and we believe as we continue to grow, also we'll gather new learnings. So the learnings can come from partners, from our trainees, and also from our employers. So all these learnings, we've put them in the booklet, and it's good to note for the TVETs in the house. There are some learnings that already you have. There are some that we can learn from you, and there's some that you can learn from us. So to start us off, when you go to page 1, it's attracting the overall guidelines, attracting and retaining women in construction. So the questions that we had, and that has been brought by many TVETs, have been forwarded by our fellow TVETs. How does Build Her maintain women in their training program? Because as we know, it's been a challenge to get women in we have so many TVETs in the country, but the women are few. So this is what we put in place. So the first one, recruitment. Our recruitment is very vigorous. Currently, actually, we are receiving applications, and the interviews will be conducted in the month of December to start classes in January. They are vigorous. You'll get the application numbers are high. So what we do, because we want to change the mindset, we encourage many women to join the construction, even the alumni and the artisan. The way they've said they are our ambassador to change mindset out there, to tell women to join the construction industry. If not Build Her, somewhere else where they can gain this. We define our recruitment goals, and then it's very important also when we are doing the recruitment. I want to say there is number 1.1 is recruitment and outreach. 1.12 should be reading, sorry for that typo, should be reading partnership and networking. So for Build Her, we don't work in isolation. We work closely with community-based organizations because they are the ones who've really helped us in identifying the women from the informal settlements and the peri-urban areas in Nairobi. So even community partners, others like leaders, like area chiefs, and we have also peer partners like NGOs. NGOs refer us, their beneficiaries. And we really appreciate, because at times they've gone through some trainings that when they come here at Builder, it's easier for them. So when we talk about M&E, monitoring and evaluation for the recruitment, at least we make sure when we are recruiting, we inform our partners. Tumechukua watu fulani, ulitutumia wasichana 20, lakini kati ya hawa 20, watatu ndo wamepita interview. And during the training process, we inform them on their learning progress of the trainees that they referred here. And when they sit for the NITA exam, we also keep the conversation going. Yes.
I think I'll just support Esther in saying we also have corporates now who've been interested in women, supporting women in construction and women joining the program. So corporates is also another group of partners.
True.
That's growing. So I just wanted to add that as far as that is concerned. And I think now we can move to guide for trainers.
Yes.
So we'll just move to the next section, a guide for trainers. And you may find that even as we go through this section, not you may find, you will discover that what you've actually seen during the workshop tour will feature in this section. So in section 1.21, we recognize that, of course, by virtue of being trainers, there's an automatic dynamic. As trainers in positions of authority, then there's an automatic power dynamic that exists. And so it's important, it has been important even in the course of our work, being able to work via guidelines so that that is not forgotten, to be able to create that respect in the course of the training, and to know how to manage those dynamics so that authority is not misused, it's managed well, and at the same time enabling both the trainees as well as us trainers to manage each other's expectations and know how to manage relationships during the course of the training. So this is particularly a guide for trainers. And so within power dynamics, we talk about training the team to be able to recognize that power dynamics exist and understanding how then they affect the process of training. And that has been important. And that process has been led by our head of training, Isaac Buku, please wave. That's our head of training, Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. And so part of his process on behalf of Build has also been to train all trainers. And in conjunction with Esther, who's also in charge of safeguarding, she's the safeguarding officer, training all trainers on the organization on safeguarding and anti-harassment policies, so that we ensure that dignity is still maintained within the course of the program, and also to nurture trust between ourselves and the trainees who come through our program. Then also developing, clarifying, and having stakeholders sign safeguarding and anti-harassment policies. So when it comes again to trainers, being able to have that formal process cemented by us signing those policies to give our commitment to ensuring that we consider safeguarding and anti-harassment, and then training trainees and artisans on safeguarding and anti-harassment too, helping them to understand, so that again that bit about managing expectations, understanding code of conduct, is also a part of the process. And so this actually also happens during orientation as part of that recruitment process that Esther has spoken about. That signing, that formalization, and understanding of the code of conduct. And then we have defining recruitment goals for who, how, and where. And I think now I'll move to creating a training space, safe training space. Now, developing discussion activities where we ask trainees to share their opinions. We've said for us partnerships is important, and when we think about collaborations, we see the trainees also as our partners in this process. In fact, through the course of our training, and training goes on for 12 months, because for us we say training happens for 4 months within this facility, but then when the artisans proceed to site, they continue training. We say they learn as they earn. And so for us, then they fulfill 1 year and then they become alumni, or what through divers we've learned, ambassador corps. Those are our alumni when they've completed 1 year of the program. So we always engage our trainees also as our partners to be able to consider or put their best interests at heart and get insights from them, or also gain some of our learnings that enable us to adjust our approaches. So developing discussion activities where you ask trainees to share their opinions is valuable for us. showing respect to trainees, pronouncing names correctly, and being open to learn and get it right. So for us as trainers, we see it as an engagement. We always embrace our training more as an engagement, not us telling them what to do, but more of an engagement between us and them. And that is emulated in our approaches to training. Then practicing active listening by giving full attention to our trainees and artisans by validating their perspectives and responding empathetically. Then creating a health and safety committee. Earlier before your workshop tour, Daniel Kavita mentioned he's the chair of the Health and Safety Committee. So for us, that's also held securely. It was set up and is active within our program here. And reporting on safeguarding and dignity on a monthly basis. Acquiring accident insurance for trainees while in training, that's something else we have here within Build Her. Within the 4 months, the trainees are covered. We have accident insurance. And then providing sanitary bins, lactation rooms, and other needed women-sensitive infrastructure. That you've already seen, again, during the workshop tour. Then there's also boundaries, maintaining boundaries within our training. So train trainers on personal boundaries that relate to beliefs, values, and references. Enabling individuals assert their choices and maintain individuality and self-respect. There's also training on emotional boundaries, and also training trainers to be able to share experiences, to be able to normalize some of these vulnerabilities, experiences that are shared, to make trainees feel that we're at a level playing field in terms of our engagement. Physical boundaries is something else that we recognize, and you've seen that as you walk through the space. So for us, being able to also recognize that. And then also in terms of the requirements we offer, being able to recognize that in, for example, dress code, or when it comes to meeting with trainees, there's also a boundary we create, and also a safe space to make sure that they feel that they're being given a safe space, but at the same time that we are not overstepping boundaries. And then ensuring their clear communication channels, so always being open to feedback too, and providing clarification where required. And the mental health department also, there's training that goes on there, because that again is a very safe space, a very sensitive space, and there's a lot of engagement there given the background that our beneficiaries come from. So also ensuring that professional boundaries are maintained. Esther, I think over to you for language and gender inclusiveness.
Thank you, Kawera. So language is very key for us as Build Her. The way you address the woman, the way you call the woman, they'll feel appreciated or they'll feel demoralized just by calling their names. So for that, for Build Her, that is very key, their identities. Build Her is open to every woman to join the program. You'll find we have women from Kenya, women from Rwanda, and women from Congo. So they'll come with different cultures and identities. So we respect that. As long as it's not affecting our program, we respect you. So the language is very important. We ensure that they are heard. I'd like to point out this. Like Rwanda and Congo, they are Francophone countries, speaking countries. But we ensure we accommodate them. We take them slowly by slowly in our training program. You can imagine there is theory classes. So for that, we have to accommodate them. And even the images that we train, I believe you saw when you're going to the workshop, even the boards behind you. the pictures, we make sure the pictures talk. They talk to the woman or they talk to the visitor who's come here. That is also a learning tool. And thank you to Georgia. Georgia, can we appreciate her? She's the one who develops our designs. So you find everything that we have here at Build Her, we want it to speak to you. Even if I can't talk to you, when you look at it, you'll understand what we do. And then our curriculum, the next page. Our curriculum in all the training modules that we have, be it the technical skills, be it the life skills, be it the artisan wellness training, we have to ensure gender is in the training. Because with this, we want to ensure the woman that we are trying to build is ready to face the world. This world is challenging. The construction world is challenging. For those who are not in the focus group discussion, I can tell you it was so interesting. They were giving us the examples that they've had back. Because these are our artisans who've already been in the field. They've had challenges. So for you to ensure that you have a training program that captures their heart, that they are ready to go out, because whatever they face out, if they are weak, they won't be able to join the sector. So the curriculum ensures that. We ensure we train on specific aspects of communication. They need remember some of them had not had formal communication. But this time we are releasing them out in the world to have, probably they are going for interviews where they are panelists, they are asked questions, so they need to know how to communicate. They need to know how to keep their money. Remember, they are going, as Kavira stated, they are going out there to learn and earn for the remainder of 8 months. So our women are supposed, or we support them to know how to keep their finances. These finances balances. Remember, these are women who are married. You might find a woman who's married, who's part of us, an artisan, but she is earning more than the husband. This can create problems in the family. So what do? We train them on gender training. We train them on financial literacy. And as our panelists spoke here, there is the artisan wellness training skills. If you get them in the morning carrying tires, where is Davis? He's somewhere around. And Jackie, they are very good. Jackie is our yoga trainer. Jackie, let's appreciate Jackie. Every morning, in a week, every trainee must go through the yoga training. Every trainee must go through the physical training. Every trainee, as they said, mental health. Remember, these are women who've come from challenging backgrounds. Our teacher, Tarure, she's not around. Our teacher, Alice, appreciate Alice. And then we have job management. Kavita, let's appreciate him. These people, you've heard they've said they want to start their own training, their own businesses. To start a business is not easy. So they need to be at least encouraged, taught. Kavita is there, and Biwot, who was here. Biwot is our trainer in entrepreneurship. So those are the things that we consider. And probably we will request other TVETs kindly try to have those trainings. They really support women. Because apart from the technical, they need the other supporting trainings that make or support them to navigate the life's challenges. Then 1.25, there is integrating gender training into the institutional culture. The training programs that I've spoken about, they need support. Actually, I forgot to talk about nutrition. I've noted many TVETs don't train on nutrition. These are women who are going to carry heavy loads. These are women whose environments have changed. They've gone to somewhere where they are starting to eat something that they are not used to. Their body is craving for something. So for that, we need to train them on the nutrition. So the institution needs to have a budget. That is something that is overlooked. You need to have a budget on that to support that training. You need to incorporate all that. Whatever you are seeing, it might not be necessarily like Builder, but depending on your environment and the training courses that you have, try to incorporate that in your curriculums. And then the language, as I had spoken about previously. And then when we talk about institutional communication, develop policies. Like when the women come here at Builder, all of them during orientation, they signed a commitment policy, a commitment training policies. Walisign ile training ya kwanza, wako hapa, ile contract. Mnakumbuka contract? Our trainees? Yes. Lazima. Because that one, even it's a training on itself. Because they start to understand, oh, when I go to a formal place or somewhere where I start my business, I'll need to start signing contracts. So the first week is signing of a contract. So the trainees are well aware on the contracts and policy. We have a safeguarding policy in place that is very, very vibrant. We have, you can see we have male team members. They are very keen on that. They are very observant. Actually, they are the ones even who train and who are on the lookout on any safeguarding thing that might happen in the organization. So, and then another thing that has really informed us on why we are even gathering the guidelines is the impact that we have. This is led by Daniel Midega. Daniel, where are you? Yes, Daniel, let's appreciate Daniel. He's the one who gathers the data. Thank you, Daniel. We wanted to see you. He gathers the lessons that we get out there from the trainees. Yes, you lead that together with the department. So I'll want to say we really appreciate that. And then on the last bit on M&E, as usual, it has to be smart. And then as I had talked about baseline data, ensure your KPIs are aligned. And then make sure you satisfy the job market. Is that understood? So for guideline 1, I believe everybody has heard it, yeah? So I ask Be What to come and give us an energizer before we go to guideline 2.
Right, thank you. Let's appreciate Esther and Kawira for this thing. Asante sana. If anybody can see Be What, mwambie anatafutwa. Be What? All right. Ako mbali hapatikani? Sawa. I'll request Jackie, please. Who's Jackie? Jackie? Yes. Yes, Jackie's a yoga teacher, so she's going to give us a few moves. She's going to stretch us. She's going to nengua viuno vyetu. So please, 2, 3 poses, then I'm sure we'll be okay.
Good afternoon. So we are going to make the word coconut. That is where we are going to start. So when we say, we start by C. So you go C. We go O. Then we go C. Then we go O. Then N and T. Okay. So have we understood? Or we go one more round. So we go. Good one. Now you are more present, even more than me. So together we go. C, O, C, O, N, U, and T. Now we are going fast. Be present. We go C, O, C, O, N, U, T. C, O, C, O, N, U, T. Take a full breath in and a breath out. Deep inhale. Exhale. Full breath in and a long breath out. Thank you.
Right, let's appreciate her. Thank you very much, Jackie. I give back Kawira and Esther the stage.
So guideline 2 is touching on the gendered training spaces. And if you'll allow us to skip that section, because you've already experienced that through the workshop tour. It's also been touched on. So are we allowed to move to the next guideline? Okay, great. So mentorship. As Esther mentioned, some of what's contained in here you're already doing within your institutions as TVETs. But we'll still walk through this. When it comes to mentorship, it's very likely you already have this happening within your institutions. And for us, we found that it's critical. And more so, when you're looking for support structures or strategies that can enable women to better succeed in a male-dominated environment. So for us, this mentorship then takes two forms. There's the peer and professional mentorship. I won't go through the first two sections because this is something in terms of purposes and benefits of mentorship that we very likely already know, and it's something that in your own time you'd be able to still read through. And perhaps maybe I can touch on 3.2. Now, as mentioned, we are stepping into a male-dominated space. Okay. Yes, yeah. So, as I talk about 3.2, as mentioned, women are stepping, in this case, into construction, which is a male-dominated space. And so that's already a major reason why, while they're entering the construction space, as mentioned earlier, this is an informal space. It's a space that often has not had structure, still doesn't always have structure. So for us, it's been important to support our women, support our trainees, support our artisans from the word go, within the 4 months first, to start understanding the value of creating safety nets, to understand the value of coming together as a collective. What does it give them? To be able to get accustomed to coming together in groups. Yes, understanding their independent identity and what's brought them here to the institution in terms of their personal goals, their career goals. That, of course, is very important as a focus for us, to be able to guide them in terms of their career development and focusing on their goals. But at the same time, starting to appreciate the power of coming together in groups, the power of working or sharing ideas in groups and being able to then actualize those ideas in groups. The power of coming together in groups. Within the 4 months, we call that within the classes, cell groups. Bringing them together, be it from the different areas they come from. Bringing them together to save, to understand the power of coming together, having a common goal, to save, so that they can access tools to support them in their career journey, so that they can access, they can be able to buy PPEs, because access to some of this infrastructure is a challenge when they get out in the 4 months. I think we had Merinjeri talking about, yes, they're trained how to use scaffolds here, but you go out there and you have to navigate the sector, because not every site has scaffolds. Some of them are told, okay, you need to fabricate your own scaffolds, or for joiners, fabricate your ladder. Get scraps of wood, fabricate that, because other artisans don't want you to use the one that they fabricated on site. So these groups coming together as collectives within the 4 months to also start sharing ideas on how to be innovative, how to troubleshoot. If we encounter this problem on site, because we said we prepare them for site, how then can you innovate so that when you get on site, if you go in teams of 3s, teams of 4s, which we also encourage them to do for safety and safeguarding, if you don't find a certain piece of equipment or tool, how do you navigate that? So therefore, mentorship is crucial and it's critical. It's something that runs through our program from the time they're training here within the 4 months, and as our artisans carry on within the sector, mentorship becomes key. So we've had Hannah, who told us a bit about her approach, and she represents several artisans who have managed to reach out within the network that we've created, we've helped them create, across cohorts, reaching out to an artisan from cohort 4. She's from cohort 6. She reaches out to an artisan from cohort 4, an artisan from cohort 8, an artisan from cohort 10. I have this project. I've got this project. I'd like us to go and work on this project together. Worker teams is what we are calling it, as a stepping stone to subcontracting. So again, as she mentors them, she creates linkages to opportunities. And then as she continues working with those artisans, each of them break out again to become leaders and call other fellow artisans, and more worker teams are formed. So basically the point is, mentorship for us is critical in managing to create or to reap certain benefits. So we talk about strength in numbers. I'll just walk through them quickly and request you to still go through the guidelines in detail. There's diverse perspectives. There's offering peer support. There's also reduced power dynamics, because sometimes you'll have an alumni or an artisan who's been in an earlier cohort. Probably the artisans who come later in later cohorts feel that they don't know how to approach an artisan from an earlier cohort. Or maybe the artisan from the earlier cohort perhaps feels that they have more influence over an artisan as a function of more experience on site, feels that they may have more authority over an artisan who comes from a later cohort. So being able to bring them together across different cohorts so that that power dynamic is diluted. Skills exchange, as the name suggests, is a benefit. Problem solving, which I mentioned, increased confidence. We say this sector is hard. So mentorship again serves as a source of support, a source of nurturing or enhancing self-confidence. Inclusivity again, accountability when it comes to delivering on projects, networking, education and awareness, long-term support. I've just mentioned the scaling out of worker teams as an example. So offering those connections in the long term and sustainable approaches. And then institutional commitment. Esther earlier spoke about institutional commitment, so the same applies here. Having the support of the institution and leadership in being able to support with resources to support these mentorship approaches and programs. I won't get into 3.3. I've already spoken about peer and professional mentors, but what I will focus on perhaps is to also speak about professional mentors who also have a special place for us within our mentorship program. So peer mentorship is the first step for us, and it's something that we keep building as we go along. But then during the course of the training, again, professional mentors also serve a crucial role. Mentors from the sector, be it women, who then serve as role models for our artisans, women who are succeeding in the sector. It could be a fundi who's really risen. She started out as a casual worker and over time eventually grew into a supervisor, a project manager. It could be a woman who's a contractor. It could even be a man who's a champion for gender inclusivity and gender equality. And they having companies, they talking about their journeys, they even offering mentorship and support systems for our artisans, trainees and artisans. So for us, professional mentorship also has a special place within our program. Now, I would like to move to 3.7, which talks about our approach, a participatory and inclusive approach to mentor selection. So in developing the structure of our mentorship program, what approach have we used? So for us, diversity has been important. Ensuring that we focus on recruiting mentors from diverse backgrounds, so that's different genders, different nationalities, different ages, different ethnicities and experiences. We say Build High is a neutral environment, so we accommodate everyone, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of nationality. Esther mentioned we've had refugees here and similar. When it comes to identifying mentors, what have we done? So we've set criteria, specific criteria, and in our selection criteria, what we do is we co-create. We have co-creation at the heart of what we do. So coming together as team members and being able to agree on what selection criteria we need to use to be able to identify and select mentors, and ensuring there's equal opportunity and diversity as mentioned. Then making sure that we communicate the mentorship goals, its benefits, also communicating the selection criteria that we've set up, and communicating that to potential mentors and mentees, to that network. Then the next step for us, we already said the voice of our trainees, the voices of our artisans are very important to us. We see them as partners. So engaging them in the process as part of the buying process, being able to engage them in nominating and voting for their preferred peer mentors. Then involving organization team members in nominating also and voting for professional mentors, again, according to predefined criteria. And then once that selection has been made, be it for peer mentors or professional mentors, then formally communicating to them and giving them a chance, recommunicating the goals, objectives and benefits, reasons for selection, and then allowing them to accept or decline. So far that's been our general process for identifying mentors. And then the next step has been offering mentor training. And we'd like to appreciate Divers as a key supporter, enabling us to build this program. So we appreciate you. And just supporting what you call Ambassador Corps, which are our alumni represented here, representing others. So we appreciate you. Thank you. So providing mentor training and being able to ensure that as we do that, what are critical areas that we cover to ensure that gender still remains central? So training or sensitizing on gender bias, stereotypes, unconscious bias, and power dynamics. Inclusivity and creating a respectful environment. Also, how do they actually manage the mentor process in a structured way? How are they professional in the course of they being mentors? Ethics, again, being at the core. How are you respectful? How do you manage confidentiality, which is important? How do you build trust between yourself, a trusting relationship between yourself and a mentee, so that the mentee feels they have a safe space and they'd like to connect with you and go on that mentorship journey? How do the mentors themselves manage self-care so that they balance out the process? As they listen to mentees, as they walk the journey with mentees, how do they manage their own self-care? Because remembering that these mentors are alumni, are Ambassador Corps. These are women who are mothers, who have families, who are working on sites. So they have to balance that out and balance the demands of the mentorship engagement. And then providing safeguarding training on matters, as I've mentioned, of confidentiality, how to establish boundaries, and self-care, which I've mentioned. So we've already spoken about mentor-mentee identification. And so with regard to selecting the mentees and matching them to mentors, again, we use criteria to connect both. See areas of strength that mentors offer or have said they'd be willing to contribute to supporting, and match them to mentees on that basis. And so that's why you see us talking about consider mentee preferences and needs when matching them with mentors. So seeing what need the mentee has and understanding from the mentor side which are their strengths, which are the areas they're willing to be engaged based on their personal experience, based on the kind of mentorship they've even done informally in the past. Because what we realized is a lot of these mentors have already been doing mentorship for a long time, but they didn't realize that they were doing mentorship. And then for us, of course, safeguarding and dignity has also been very important in keeping at the core of our programs. And so we explain there addressing bias, addressing harassment, communication, constant communication, continuous check-ins, and in the communication, ensuring it's open and it's honest. And then, of course, there's the aspect of career development, skill development, which is a benefit from mentorship and building confidence that carries on through the mentorship program. And then 7, 8 still talks about benefits of the mentorship, but at the same time, the process that carries through in terms of ensuring this diversity in our program, promoting networking, and then also creating awareness on gender equality and inclusion to foster an inclusive culture. So this is within the wider TVET space. How do we work together to strengthen mentorship as an approach to enhance inclusivity, to enhance diversity, to enhance progress in the space, in a male-dominated space? And also leveraging resources, learning from each other, having communities of practice amongst each other, coming together like we have today with other TVETs and partners like, additional partners like yourselves, to be able to share lessons, to be able to share resources, and to work towards a common cause in gender equality and inclusion. And then M&E. Esther spoke about M&E earlier, so I won't repeat that because it still applies here. And carrying on program communication, measuring successes, using KPIs, measuring targets, and adapting where adjustments need to be made. Thank you. So that's the end on mentorship, and I'll hand over to Esther on networking.
Okay, thank you, Kawera. Kawera has taken us through the mentorship, and we are on the last guideline on networking for faster sector inclusivity. That's the result here. So, we recognize partnership as one of our key pillars in our training program. And this forum is embedded in that guideline. So for that, I want to recognize, where's St. Dominic? Alex? Is Alex around? Okay, even though they are not here, we recognize. Where? No, not yet. Nita, Drusilla, they've left. Nita is a key partner of Builder. And that's why we are coming to the next section on partnerships and networking. Silam Dalbag has also left, but they were here with us. They are some of our key supporters since we were from cohort, I think cohort 4. They've been with us. And then, thank you, Kavita. Klaus from Danish. Thank you. Let's recognize Klaus. That is a very key partner to Builder. Eric Kanyi. Thank you, Eric. That's why we are going to the last section on our guideline on networking. And we appreciate each one of you here. Dorcas. Thank you, Dorcas. Dorcas, you're from where? Kenya? Kenya Building. Thank you. Let's recognize Dorcas. Winnie. Thank you, Winnie. You're also from Kenya Building. Mary Wanjeri. Thank you, Mary. Mary, you're from where? Kenya Building. Thank you. Esther Wairimo. Esther, you are also from Kenya Building. Thank you. Okeo Lois. Thank you. You're also from the Kenya Building Union. Well, let's appreciate her. Trin. Thank you. Trin, you're from where? Trin is from Divers. Actually, Divers is one of our funders and supporters of Builder. I hope I'll pronounce this good. Daegu? I hope I've pronounced it well. Dugu. Yes, thank you. From Divers too. Thank you. Eda Wamboi. Eda. We also recognize her in her absentia. She's from WASPA. Millicent Karaoke. Is she around? Where? Ah, Millicent. Thank you. Millicent, you're from where? Danish industry. Let's recognize Millicent. Thank you. And then Daniel Mwaura. Thank you, Daniel, from 3F. So I wanted us to recognize the partners that are here so that when we are talking about the last guideline, we understand why it's important for Builder. So we say they are key for you to be here. It's one of the ways of ensuring our women learn from you. The way you're seated, it's so strategic. The way you're seated there, we want the women to learn one thing from you. And these women, they are combined. We have mentors. Mentors, where are you? Can you wave? Mentors in each desk. Let's recognize our mentors. Those are our mentors who have gone in the industry and are coming back to share lessons back into the program. They also come and advise. You know, there's a way they relate more to our women because they faced the same challenges before they joined Build Her with our women. During the training, they faced similar problems with our women. Now that they are out in the field, the challenges and the successes that they faced, they bring back to our training program. So our women are well aware of what to look for or what to expect once they finish the 4 months. Now it will be 6 months starting next year. So what we do, we encourage the women to have online communities. We train them on online courses. We want them to also know how to market themselves. And also, this point mainly talks about career growth, 4.1. So I won't indulge more on that. You look at your own time. And the peer networking, that's what I've talked about. Establish an institution. It's very important. Kenyan TVETs, to understand it's important to have their trainees or artisans who've gone out in the field to bring back them into the, to bring back them to in the program so that they are able to advise and give lessons to the trainees who are undergoing through the training program. So you can have workshops and forums. We usually have workshops and forums for our trainees and artisans. Here we mix them from cohort 1. You understand we are at cohort 11 and next year we are going at cohort 12. We ensure they are mixed so that they have cross-cutting lessons. Then there's the professional networking. Professional networking. Here is where we look at you, our partners. We see, we talk with you. We see if the lessons you have, you can support us. Come back. We can probably even after this event, we can approach you and request you, can you come and talk to our women? Can you come and talk to our women in this line, depending on your specialty? So that's why we have professional networkings, networkings. And then we have, during the 4 months training, before they finish the transition to the 8 months training, we encourage our women to go do an internship program. These are activities that are conducted over the weekends, starting the 2nd month of their training. Reason why? By the time they finish 4 months, they've already tested the sector. They've already known the language, mafundi wanatumiaga mtaa. Unajua language si kaa hii ya kawaida, si ni kweli? You get the language there is different so that they don't get that culture shock. After 4 months, you just throw them out in the field, they'll get culture shock. So little by little, we start introducing them to the industry after the 2nd month. And then when we talk about development and inclusive network program, this is where we have mainly outreach, advocacy and outreach programs. These ones we've talked about them, like the social media. We have printed materials where we share. And then we ensure we integrate networking into our institutional culture. If you look inside, you will see we attend, as much as you've come to our event, actually as Builder, we really appreciate you taking your time, coming, spending with us, and that's why even for us, when you invite us, we make sure we take an effort to come. We come and learn, just the way you've come at Builder, and probably you've learned one or two things. Even us, from when we come to your events, we ensure we learn, and we continuously carry out research. Because this market trend, it's really evolving. So to keep us updated, we need to keep continuously research. And we also encourage our trainees. If you find them in the social media doing their assignments, nowadays we have offered, actually what I need to inform you also, if TVET are able to provide social, what can I call it, data bundles, or you have Wi-Fi in your institution. The world is becoming a global community. It's important for the training, as much you're training them on your curriculum, on your curriculum. It's important they see what Canada is doing, to see what Europe is doing, to see what Asia is doing. So kindly ensure, if it's possible, have Wi-Fi for the trainees. And then when we talk about safeguarding, Kawira has talked on safeguarding. And safeguarding, I had also talked about it. It's also cuts across ethical networking. When I talk about networking, I can give an example. Recently, we visited the gender office, that the presidential gender, I think, focal office. And they really talked about ethics in construction, where some people, when they go to construction, when they see probably paint has been left somewhere, they'll take, or over budgeting, so that they make sure they remain with some money. So for us, lessons from that, we ensure we have them in our training. Like now we have an ethical training module in our training, just from the learning of from the ministry that we received from the government she is the president representative gender. So that is something that we learn. And then to conclude on M&E, we conduct survey, and we are very happy. The survey that you gave us here, as much as that it looked simple, the survey was very informative, and we will implement the feedback that you gave us and also share the results with you. So with those few remarks, I want to say that is our guideline, and that is what we do. And we say it's a continuous learning for Builder. So thank you a lot. I want to return to BWAT. Before I return to BWAT, I want to ask Jackie, as BWAT comes in. Jacqueline, very fast. Jacqueline. And then if we have feedback or we have questions, we can take probably 5 minutes to have a conversation or to have the questions.
Thank you, Esther. Again, can we stand up? Find a space. Find a space. Be ready to stretch. Both hands up. Straight up. Reach to the ceiling. Straight up. North side. Straight up. Then beside you. Now we are going to involve breath. So when you breathe in, both hands up. When you breathe out, hands beside your body. So together we go, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Again, you remember our C, leaning to the right and leaning to the left. Now we are going to again involve breath. Breathe in, lean to the right. Breathe out, lean to the left. Breathe in to the right. Breathe out to the left. Again, breathe in, both hands up. Breathe out, hands beside your body. Breathe in, both hands up. Breathe out, hands to the back. Now roll your shoulders and go up. Try to see someone behind you and push your pelvis forward. Chest up. Stretch here. Stretch. Up. Both hands up. And lean forward. Reach for your toes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come to stand. And tap your feet. Tap your feet. Match. The faster that you can. The faster that you can. Fastest. And release. One hand to your chest, one hand to your belly. Now I want you to breathe in, making sure that your breath reaches to the belly. So breathe in, fill up your belly, and breathe out. Breathe in again, fill up your belly, and breathe out. One more breath in, and a breath out. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Are you excited? Are you excited? If you're excited, clap once. Clap once. Clap twice. All right. We are coming to the close of this session. But before that, do we have any feedback from the table? Maybe it is an artisan, it's partner. You have any feedback in general before we wrap this session up? You can start to think of it. If you have any feedback, any thought or anything, you can shoot your hand up. As I cross my finger, thank you. Thank you so much. You'll be the first one. I want the second hand. Anyone? As I wait for the second and the third person, I'd wish to ask a question. What is the difference, my people, what is the difference between construction sites and a magnet? Mnajua magnet, spark. Sindio? Construction site and a magnet. What is the difference? Any difference that you know? What is the difference between construction site and a magnet? If you have any contribution or opinion about our dissemination today, you can shoot your hand. I have the first hand. The second you can shoot. But you think, what is the difference between construction site and a magnet? It's very, very simple. What is the difference between construction site and a magnet? Don't overthink, it's very simple. I'm seeing you're overthinking and I'm standing between you and your lunch. I can ask a very simple other question. Oh, jibu ya kwanza, please. What is the difference between construction site and a magnet?
Construction site is stationary, you cannot move it. Lakini magnet unaweza songesha.
Construction site is stationary, but magnet unaweza songesha. Tumu appreciate. Amejaribu. But what is the difference between construction site and a magnet? Yes, Waudo.
Okay, let me try.
Yes, please.
Do you hear me? Okay, there's no difference between magnetic and construction site because a magnet attracts anything that is bonding together with it. And even coming to a construction, the same thing applies to construction because it attracts anybody that is concerned about it.
All right, let's appreciate him. He has tried. Someone else. Lastly, yes, Kavita.
I'm sure I'll get it.
Okay. Fingers crossed. Let's cross our fingers, people. Everyone, let's cross our fingers. Even our toes. Can you cross your toes? Cross them. Okay.
So a magnet attracts only like poles, anything that it wants specifically, but a construction site accommodates everybody, both male and female, and everybody else.
Let's appreciate him and let's release it because the way we have tightened it, we'll get a muscle pull, okay? All right, let's appreciate him. He has tried. The difference between construction site and a magnet. Magnet has two poles, north and south. But construction site, it has so many poles. Are we together? Let's appreciate ourselves. All right, thank you so much. Then I was standing back there. Then I heard someone asking, are construction workers really romantic? I began to laugh. Someone asked, are construction workers really romantic or love? Are they? Yes. Are they? Yes. Are they? Yes. Are they? Yes. I would wish to hear a very charming word that relates in construction. Anyone, just raise your hand before I give you what my subcontractors gave me back there. Any? So they're not loving, right? I asked my subcontractors back there, and actually they gave me a very fun statement that I will be your PPE to protect your heart. I will be your PPE to protect your heart. You know PPE? Yes. What is the first P? Personal protective equipment to protect your. So that means construction sector, it has some love. Are we together? So let's appreciate our subcontractors back there. Let's appreciate them. Do you want another construction joke? Do you want? I'm sorry, my subcontractors back there are still working on them. Because the journey to construction, the journey to success, it's always under construction. Asanteni sana, I'll invite her to give our feedback. Then in case there's anyone who would wish to share feedback, please you'll shoot your hand, then we'll call it a day. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Okay, my feedback is...
You can stand and project your voice a little bit.
Good afternoon. Okay, my feedback is I want to appreciate BuildHer for adding 2 months. At least right now there are 6 months. And through this, a lot of artisans will get like more skills, and they will find experience, and they will know how to tackle the issues that we are facing on the construction industry. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let's appreciate her. All right, hey, let's appreciate her. Hey, thank you so much. All right, someone else, any feedback from our partner? Sure. Yes, that is table 6. I'll gift you. I've decided. I'll gift you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon once more.
Afternoon too.
Okay, I just want to thank BuildHer for this day. Actually, I've realized that a lot of people who value us, they are there to empower us. Thank you, our partners, for being here. It encourages, your presence encourages us. At least when you feel like you're getting tired, then you understand there's somebody behind you, somebody who wants a lot for you, somebody who wants you to progress. Thank you very much, Build and our partners.
All right, thank you so much. Let's appreciate her. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Someone else, before I wrap it up, before I call one of Builder. Oh, you want to share? Hey, number 6. You're taking this by force. All right, let's do it.
Saseni.
Poa.
Mimi naweza sema asante sana kwa Builder. Asante sana kwa Builder. Sikuwa na expect kukuwa hapa leo juu tumemaliza recently, but na appreciate sana. Nimekutana na wenye walimaliza mbele yetu, partners wenye wanatusaidia, and I really appreciate.
All right, thank you so much. Let's appreciate her. We really thank you so much. I suppose there is no any other feedback from the partner or anyone. All right, is there any other one beside that? All right, thank you so much. I can feel in the spirit that there's no any hand. And in case you want to prove my spirit wrong, please don't. Okay? All right, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Lillian Ataila. So I just want to thank Builder for this opportunity and for bringing us together here today, making us to meet with the partners and also the contractors. I think it's an amazing day because we have shared a lot. All those things that we are experiencing there in the field, at least leo mmejua, and I believe that mutatusaidia to overcome them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate her. Thank you so much. And lastly, Jen Kio. You know you are, did I say the last of the last? No, I said the last one. So you are the last of the last, okay.
Hamjambo.
Hatujambo.
Hamjambo tena.
Hatujambo.
Mimi ni Jen Kio. Ningependa sana kushukuru Builder kwa sababu cha kwanza wameleta mentors karibu na sisi. Saa hizi hatutegemei sana mwalimu, ni pale penye pametulemea ndio tuna consult mwalimu wa mentorship. Cha pili, nashukuru sana wale alumni ambao wamesimama na alumni wenzao kuwashikilia na kuwa put through employments. Wengine wangetafuta sana, hao wamewasaidia, tunashukuru sana. Tunashukuru pia kwa walimu kwa penye wametufikisha, saa hizi tunaweza kujisimamia kama mafundi, tunasema asante sana. Na kwa partners, wale wamekuja kujua penye tunafanya, pia tunawashukuru sana. Mungu awabariki sana. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's appreciate Jen Kio. Thank you so much, Jen Kio, for that. Lastly, I suppose there's no any other hand up. I would like to ask you one more. Then we stand and we call it a day. Why are Hamas so mad and angry? Why are Nyundo, kwa nini nakwanga imejam tu? Why are Nyundos so angry or sad all the time? Do you see, si mnajonga sura za Nyundo? Si zinakwanga zimebonda throughout? Mbona zinakwanga zimebonda? Okay. Why are Hamas so mad or sad all the time? Why are Hamas so angry? Hey, don't cheat. We've said construction people, we are lovers, so don't cheat. Okay? Why are they so mad? Yes?
Naweza jaribu?
Yes.
Nyundo zinakuanga ziko hungry kila saa kwa sababu foreheads zao zimetengenezwa ku hit something.
To hit. Yeah. All right, let's appreciate her. Actually, she is correct. Hamas are angry because most of the time they are hammered. Sawa? They are hammered. Kugonga kwa kizungu ni kuhama. So that means they are very sad and angry because most of the time hammer are used to hammer. So there's no any time they will be happy. Imagine kazi yao ni kugonganga tu, kugonga. There's no any time they will be happy. So thank you so much. I invite you to be upstanding. Then we call it a day. Let's all stand. Let's all be upstanding. All right. So, for this, I want us to finish in style. I'll ask that all of us, most of us, if not all of us, we know this drill. So, if I say one, I want you to tap your thigh, okay? Like this. Okay? I'll ask, I don't know where Kavita is, to assist me with all the microphones such that I'll be demonstrating. Okay, yes. You can stand here. Oh, I see. So if I say one, that's fine, thank you. If I say one, let's all be doing this. One, then tap. I want to hear the loudest taps, okay? One. Then I say two, tap with one, then you do this, okay? Continue tapping with your left hand. Okay, one. I can't hear. Two. When I say three, we do this. Three. Okay? When I say four, you place your left palm on top of your neighbor's index finger, like this, flat. Then I understand some of us are vertically challenged, so I totally agree, I know. So I understand some of us are vertically challenged, okay? Yes, so this way. Okay? One. Two, I can't hear. Three. Four. When I say go, try to pull your index finger downwards such that your neighbor will not grab it as much as you try to grab your neighbor's index finger, okay? Is it clear? Like this. One. Two. Three. Kavira, don't be ashamed. Three. Oh, okay. One, two, three. Yes, sir, three. Okay. Four. Flat. No. You need to trust us. Builder is safe. Three. Okay, then we say go. You grab. Okay. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. All right, let's do it once more. Let's go. One. Two. Three. One. Two. Three. Four. One. Two. I can't hear the sound. Three. Up. Five. All right, you can add the volume, please. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, artisans. Thank you so much, our guests. We really thank you. And we appreciate you. So for that case, we saw that you are so angry, plus the hunger in you. So we wanted you to go and smile at the exciting food that we've prepared for you. So now you can afford to smile, right? Yes. So for that case, I want you to appreciate yourself. Do this. Yourself. Then place it here. We really appreciate you. Let's appreciate our guests. Wherever they are, let's drop to them. To them wherever they are. Even in their absence here. All right, let's appreciate Builder. Builder. Then let's drop it here. Here. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Then, last but not least, appreciate Biwot Shadrach, who has been your MC for the day. Let's appreciate myself. Thank you so much. And bring it on. I receive. Thank you so much and bon appetit for the lunch. And we are really happy to say that the guidelines for the gendered approach in construction has been finally launched at Builder. Let me hear some shouts. Thank you so much. Let's go for lunch. For the interest of time, sorry, we can go slowly. You can continue to have a chit chat. Let's start the one after you won't be crowded all of us there. Are we together? Reserve your energy of standing in the queue. Once table